Why do we create? Why do we persevere? And what stories will we leave behind for those who come after us? Maybe the real mystery isn't in the Moai at all, it's in us. Hello and welcome to the Mystery Channel, where in each video we discuss strange and profound topics, revealing secrets that science is still unable to fully explain. If you were to journey to one of the most remote corners of the Pacific Ocean, over 2,000 miles from the nearest continental shore, you'd find a tiny triangle-shaped island called Rapa Nui, or as the world knows it by its colonial name, Easter Island. Here, scattered across the windswept landscape, over 900 colossal stone figures, some standing 30 feet tall and weighing up to 80 tons, cast their watchful gaze over the earth. They are the Moai, silent, stoic, and shrouded in mystery. For centuries, these enigmatic statues have sparked the imagination of explorers, archaeologists, and storytellers alike. Who carved them? How did they move such massive monoliths without wheels, beasts of burden, or modern machinery? And more hauntingly, why were they built at all? Today, we're diving headfirst into one of the world's greatest archaeological puzzles, the mystery of the Moai statues. To understand the story of the Moai, we have to start with the people who created them. The Rapa Nui civilization arrived on the island sometime between the 12th and 13th centuries, canoeing across the vast Pacific in daring voyages guided only by the stars. They found a lush, forested island, a natural paradise. But their isolation meant that every resource had to be carefully managed. Wood for fire and shelter, stones for tools, fertile land for crops, all of it was finite. The Rapa Nui were masterful stone carvers, but their creation of the Moai, which began not long after their arrival, remains one of the most astonishing feats of human ingenuity. Imagine standing in the quarry at Ranararaku, where the statues were carved directly from volcanic tuff. Hundreds of Moai still lie there today, some left incomplete as if the carvers had simply walked away mid-chisel. Others, fully formed, rest on the slopes, as though abandoned on their journey to their final destinations. And that brings us to the first mystery. The Moai were carved miles away from where they were eventually raised, and yet these massive stones, unthinkably heavy, were somehow transported across an island without access to advanced tools. For years, the world marveled at this logistical nightmare. Explorers speculated endlessly. Theories ranged from the plausible to the wildly imaginative. Some believed the statues were dragged on wooden sledges. Others argued they were rolled on logs or even greased with palm oil to slide across the ground. But one Rapa Nui legend offers a very different explanation. The Moai walked, yes, walked, upright as if animated by a supernatural force. It might sound far-fetched, but hold that thought for a moment. In the late 20th century, archaeologists and engineers began testing ways the Moai might have been moved. And in the 2010s, something extraordinary happened. Researchers built replicas of a Moai, small by original standards but still enormous for human effort, and tried an experiment inspired by the legend. Using ropes tied around the stone, they had teams pull and rock it side to side, much like someone inching a refrigerator across a kitchen floor. To everyone's amazement, it worked. The Moai could walk. There was no need for sledges, ramps, or pulleys, just teamwork, ingenuity, and a whole lot of patience. This discovery shed light on one part of the Moai mystery, but it raised an even bigger question. Why such incredible dedication? Why carve, transport, and erect hundreds of these figures in the first place? To answer that, we need to uncover what the Moai truly represent. While the statues' oversized heads are instantly recognizable, less attention is paid to their subtle but powerful features. Their downward cast eyes, their elongated noses, their tightly pressed lips. The Moai are more than just statues, they're ancestors. The Rapa Nui believed deeply in the power of Wakapapa, the lineage and connection to those who came before. Each Moai is thought to represent a specific ancestor, chosen for their strength or wisdom, carved to honor and protect the tribe. Some Moai were crowned with red stone top knots, representing a hairstyle worn by Rapa Nui nobles. They were placed on stone platforms called ahu that served both as ceremonial sites and tombs. Like sentinels, the Moai watched over their clan's lands, their presence a constant reminder of the ancestors' ability to bring blessings or enforce consequences. But if the Moai were symbols of protection, what happened to the civilization that created them? By the time Europeans arrived on Easter Island in the 18th century, the Rapa Nui were a shadow of their former strength. The once forest-covered island had become barren. The fertile land struggled to yield crops. For years, scholars and environmentalists pointed to ecological disaster. Some argued that the Rapa Nui had overharvested the island's trees, cutting down forests for firewood, farming, and perhaps most devastatingly, for the transportation of Moai. Without wood, they couldn't build canoes for fishing or shelter from strong winds, and as resources dwindled, so did the community's cohesion. Famine and warfare followed, they suggested. But recent discoveries complicate that narrative. Scholars now believe the downfall of the Rapa Nui wasn't solely self-inflicted. Rats, introduced to the island as stowaways on early Polynesian canoes, may have devastated the forest by eating the seeds of vital tree species. And once European explorers arrived, they brought their own disasters: disease, enslavement, and cultural destruction. And here's an intriguing twist. Even faced with devastation, the Rapa Nui never stopped carving Moai. Archaeological evidence suggests they continued creating these statues through the worst periods of their decline. Think about that. When the world around them was falling apart, they still found purpose, or at least solace, in connecting to their past. Perhaps the Moai weren't just symbols of power or ancestry, they were lifelines to identity, to hope, a final, defiant expression of a people who refused to be erased. Today, Rapa Nui is home to descendants of the original Moai carvers, and they hold fast to the legacy of their ancestors. While the mysteries of Easter Island's statues have been unraveled one piece at a time, their story remains as profound as ever, a story of innovation, community, and resilience against unimaginable odds. The next time you see an image of a Moai, remember, they aren't just stone relics. They are, in their silence and stoicism, whispering the heart of an ancient civilization. They tell us to ask not only how, but why. Why do we create? Why do we persevere? And what stories will we leave behind for those who come after us? Maybe the real mystery isn't in the Moai at all, it's in us. So if you enjoyed this video and are interested in mysterious phenomena and mysterious historical incidents, don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more incredible and unbelievable stories. And leave us a comment with your opinion on this topic. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.